The most important meal of the day, second breakfast.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another Second Breakfast podcast. I'm Andy Roth alongside Phil Duvall. Say hi, Phil.
Hi, Andy. And everybody else.
There we go. And
I'm
it's,
sufficiently happier to see everybody else than I am to see you.
well, I mean, at this point in the marriage, we're sick of each other, right? It's
You're like an old shoe.
Indeed. So it's Monday. Here at Second Breakfast, and indeed the rest of the world. It's not just Monday for us. And
Depends on when they watch it.
that's fair. Oh, that's an excellent point. I hope it's
Could
Monday.
be Tuesday
where
in
you are.
Australia.
Nice. Well done there.
Thank you.
And so what we're doing is weekly leftovers. We tell you one big thing, movie related, that happened to us or that we experienced or thought about or had some connection with movie wise over the past week. And then we tell you all of the movies coming out this weekend that we're excited for, and all of the movies that we saw, each of us, over the past week. Did I leave anything out? Do I have that?
You hit it on the head like a nail with a hammer.
You know what? I try to.
Your aim is true, Andy.
Nice. Thank you, sir. Anything to say to the lovely? Oh, and that stuff. Not the one big thing, but the movies coming out this weekend and the movies we saw last week. We do all of that in 5 minutes. I have a little thing here set to.
And the reason, yeah.
Real quick. 4 minutes and 50 seconds. You'll hear an old timey car horn go off. Auga, and that means we have 10 seconds left. You were saying.
So
I'm sorry.
the reason we did that is because our 5-minute Mondays were going to be 20 minutes, and so we decided that we would time ourselves at the 5 minutes, but then we realized we still had things to say outside the 5 minutes. So we've still managed to act like we're moderating and withholding, but then in reality still taking as much time as we want on Mondays.
Or indeed as much time as possible. I mean, let's be honest.
Thing I want to tell you is. All right, Andy, what's your one big thing for the week?
My one big thing, Phil, it's movies that know what they are.
Ooh.
They don't try to do anything more than what they are. I have seen this weekend. I have seen the 6th movie in the Fast and Furious franchise, and
God bless you, sir.
It is. I mean, it is literally this close to incomprehensible, right? It is. There is a. The plot. They basically are like, here is some exposition that you are pointedly not supposed to remember. Like the bad guy's plot is
they
literally
jam just enough information into your head that you're like, what just happened? And they're like, see, we told you. Moving on.
Exactly. The bad
It's a
guy's
great
plot.
scheme.
The bad guy's plot is literally like, they're like, he's going to build this type of bomb. And one character says to the other, what does that do? And then the first character's like, the bomb does this, and this might happen. And then they never talk about it again. Ever.
I love this.
It's
I
amazing.
love this.
And yet, I had so much, multiple times, mouth agape, unbelieving, disbelieving what I'm seeing. I could not have had a more satisfying experience
I like it.
in the movie, watching this movie.
It's a movie that knows what it is.
Precisely.
And it sounds to me from what I've heard, and I have seen 0 of the Fast and Furious oeuvre, but I have
You keep
heard
using that word. I do not think it
means what you think it means. It means what I want it to mean. It's America.
That's fair.
Of this specific grouping of films, this series, it seems to me like there was an identity crisis at some point.
Yes.
And in the last couple of movies, they have come out the other end going, we're this thing.
Yes.
And it's worked out for them really well, is what I've been told. I haven't seen any of them.
I would agree with that. The 5th one, the identity crisis happened between movies 4 and 5. There are only so many racing.
But I heard
scenes.
Fast 5 was the best one that there was.
I think so too. There are only so many racing scenes.
So the tricky part, the identity crisis wasn't when they got rid of all the famous people and made Tokyo Drift.
Not really. Not really. It's the same movie, but with different people.
Okay.
And then interestingly, 4, 5, and 6 tie into 3. So it isn't
I
so
appreciate that kind of continuity, and that's
Yeah.
something that makes no sense.
it makes that actually makes more sense than any one of the individual movies. But I have appreciated that they've tried to, at the end of 3, at the end of Tokyo Drift, you're
Yeah.
like, why? What? I mean, whether you like it or not, you're like, what was that doing?
Well, it's sort of like the second season of The Wire.
Nice.
And you're like, I
Indeed.
guess we're on the docks now?
Indeed.
Are
But by
we
the
on the
time you get
dock?
to the end
Where's
of the
Stringer Bell? Is
That's-
Stringer Bell involved?
that is a perfect analogy because when
Yeah.
you're living it, you're like, what is going on?
And then it ends, and then you're like, still not 100% sure.
But by the end, by the end.
Okay,
Oh, well, I
okay.
mean, we could argue about The
Okay.
Wire at another point. But by the end, and frankly, we can argue about the Fast and Furious series at another point too. But by the end, you're like, oh, I see how this all ties together. And
Can I say something really quickly?
please do.
You said we can argue about the Fast and Furious at some time later. I have a feeling that the Fast and the Furious is not really a series that you can argue about. Either you like it or you don't. I have a feeling that I'm not going to watch it and be like, all the cars were symbols for, no, I mean, it's I get it. I think I get it. Having not seen it, I think I get it.
Indeed, the only metaphor is phallic. I mean,
Yeah.
because men and
Is that even a
cars-
metaphor anymore?
Fair,
Andy,
fair point.
what's a metaphor?
It's like a simile.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Whew.
Give and go, give and go.
man.
All right.
Ooh, high
You
school English
I'll
humor.
set him up. You just knock him down, Andy.
Knock him down.
You know what's really weird is my one big thing is it's almost identical to your one big thing. I'm
Ooh.
not kidding.
I look forward to it. What's your one big
You
thing?
said movies that know what they are.
Okay.
I watched a movie this past week, and I realized this is a movie that doesn't know what it is.
Ooh. Okay.
The Lion King.
Sure.
Now, I want to address a person directly. His name is Jeff, who I just said, what a hot mess this movie is. And he's like, well, what do you mean? And I'm like, it's a hot mess. And he said, well, it's something along the lines. I don't want to, I'm going to be paraphrasing him, but basically this is a Disney movie, not like a you treat Disney movies different than you treat other movies. It's for kids, and it's its own genre, and you can't expect to judge it by the same way you judge other movies. And I would say that's not true. I disagree. Well, I agree and I disagree. Yes, it's a kids movie, kind of. Although that's part of the problem. It doesn't know how to be a kids movie. It's too violent for a kids movie.
Interesting. Okay.
But the great thing about Disney movies is whichever genre they are within the children movie genre, they pick that thing and the best ones live into that. Little Mermaid is a romantic comedy, basically.
Mhm.
Beauty and the Beast is a drama, basically.
A romantic drama. Absolutely.
Yeah. And Aladdin is a comedy, just a straight up comedy, or adventure comedy,
Yes.
like Indiana Jones without the dark stuff, basically.
Sure.
Okay.
Nice.
So these movies have these different sort of things. Lion King, and he said, you can't judge them like you judge normal movies. Again, so you saying a movie knows what it is. You and I are on the same page of that. Our dear friend who we never ever met, the departed Roger Ebert, is on that page, which he says, you judge a movie, did it accomplish what it set out to accomplish?
Bingo. Yes.
And I agree with that. I'm
Yeah.
with that 100%. So do you judge Disney movies the way you judge other movies? No, in the same way that no, you don't judge actions the same way you judge dramas. But you do judge them all the same in the sense that did they accomplish what they set out to accomplish?
Yes.
And what I'm saying is Lion King doesn't know what it is. Is it Hamlet? I would say no, you would say yes, but the answer really is kind of. But is it a drama? Kind of. Is it a comedy? The jokes aren't very good. There's a couple of good jokes.
Sure.
There's a couple good jokes, but there's a lot of really wah 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 jokes. The hedgehog or the hog farts. Oh.
Fair.
I would say coming off, this was the movie that came after Beauty and the Beast, and I idolize Beauty and the Beast, granted, but if you watch Beauty and the Beast and then watch Lion King, and the movie starts off with this gorgeous set piece, this gorgeous circle of life set piece, and then in
it's
the movie, none of their
It's a perfect scene.
yeah,
It's
and the rest
amazing.
of the movie doesn't live up to it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of sort of Pan-African stereotyping going on, just sort of what's that baboon? Oh, he's some African
Mystic.
priest,
Yes.
mystic priest
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Well, what does he believe? I don't know, something African. He breaks open some fruit and reads the seeds, like the African religions do. And then at one point, he's basically like he's got his stick and he turns into a kung fu guy. That was the moment, honestly. And I say I'm overthinking this, but that is the moment that for me, the movie, when he was the African guy who all of a sudden took his staff, the African high chief priest or whatever, baboon, and started kung fu fighting hyenas. And I was like, kung fu? Like, this is you're just doing things that look cool.
Yeah.
It's a scene where the music just goes fluorescent. Everything goes fluorescent on I Just Can't Wait to Be King. And that's another problem with Elton John is it's pop music.
Yeah.
It's not musical music. Look, it's not a bad movie, believe it or not. But to my friend Jeff, who was saying you got to judge it separately as a Disney movie, I agree with you. But watch Beauty and the Beast. You said Aladdin was your favorite. Watch Aladdin. Watch, I'd say Robin Hood. Watch Wreck-It Ralph. That is a Disney movie. And then he said Pixar is something else. But watch Pixar. These are movies that know how to be cartoons for children, by and large, and still are phenomenally, they know what they are. Lion King has no idea what it is.
It's really interesting that you say that. I could not agree with you more. I agree with you 100%.
I love
but when you
my favorite kind of Andy Roth.
I got to be honest, it's not my least favorite because I don't like arguing with you.
Yeah.
You say, well, Pixar is a different thing, and I get that, but even stick to Disney movies, and I might even go further to this friend Jeff.
Yeah. Yes. I hope so. I think it's Jeff. I've only met him like once, so
nice.
Well,
so
we're Facebook
Wreck-It
friends.
Ralph.
Yeah.
And yes, it's a Disney movie, and it's an excellent comparison. But how about this? Compare it to, for example, Bambi. All right.
Yeah.
Bambi. There is no reason that movie should be entertaining to adults. There really isn't. It is. It is nothing. It is the most streamlined plot possible.
Yes.
It is simplistic in the extreme. The visuals, I mean, they were interesting because there just hadn't been that many animated movies by that point.
I think it was the third or the fourth that they made. It's the third or fourth Disney movie.
Sure. But why does it, to use, and I'll use the word, why does it enchant viewers of all ages even today? And I think the answer is, and this might be a bigger topic, I think the answer is because it knows what it is.
Yeah.
You know?
And I'm glad you mentioned Bambi. I wasn't going to mention Bambi, but I watched, we'll talk about what I watched later, but watched Cinderella this week for the first time in a really long time. Clearly I have a daughter, a 2-year-old, and I hadn't seen Cinderella since I was a kid. Cinderella is like 67 minutes. It knows, but it feels longer and not in a bad way. It feels like a complete film.
Right.
It knows exactly what it is. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs knows exactly what it is.
Yes.
So it sets out to accomplish something and it accomplishes it. So yeah.
That's lovely.
Anyways, that's my thing. On to our. Shall we set the timer?
The timer is set.
Here we go.
Here we go. The movies I have seen, the movies Phil has seen, and then the movies coming out this weekend that you may or may not be interested in.
Starting. Andy, it's a stopwatch. You already had it set up.
I hate you.
Yeah, it's fair.
Hate you.
Okay, come on with the H word. Somebody might think you're serious and be like, those guys aren't friends. Fair. Why do they have a radio show together?
The Scott Pilgrim versus the World version of the L word.
Yeah, exactly.
Love it. Okay. Except not love. Okay. 4:50. We will have 10 seconds once the old-timey car horn sounds, and we start now.
Go for Andy.
So, I saw a lot of movies this week. A lot of movies. I watched An American Werewolf in London for...
Wait, how many movies did you watch?
10? An American Werewolf in London. The 2011 version of Footloose, which is notable only for the fact that the one decent human being who is over the age of 18 in this movie is played by an actor who is also amazing in the movie Mud. Ray McKinnon, you're now my dude.
Love Ray McKay. Apparently, he created and directed a TV show that's been on TV, and I got to watch it.
Fascinating. Okay. I look
Continue.
forward to talking
We're
about
going to
that.
find it.
I saw Mud again. Actually, I
Yep.
saw it twice, but I'm not counting it twice. So I've now seen it 3 times, and it honestly, it just keeps getting better. It's a phenomenal film. I watched the food documentary Jiro Dreams of Sushi. Sushi has never been this beautiful. It is amazing. It's just an amazing. It's not an amazing movie. It's an amazing look at a guy who literally could not be more obsessed about anything in the world, and the thing he is obsessed about is making sushi.
Okay.
I rewatched a couple of awesome action movies. I rewatched Jack Reacher and The Avengers. I saw, as I said, Fast and Furious 6. I saw the Project Melway movie for this week, $1 Million Hotel, and I have to stop talking about it or I'll break out in hives. I watched Super 8. Rewatched Super 8.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, right? And I filled a hole in my Miyazaki anime filmography. I finally watched the movie My Neighbor Totoro, which is a movie that knows exactly what it is. It could not be a more simple plot, and it is completely enchanting. And I am done. Go for Phil.
I thought I was going to get you this week. Guess how many movies I saw this week?
Did you see 9?
I saw 8, but
Okay,
still,
okay,
8.
sure.
I mean, 8 movies in a week is huge for me.
Yes, that would have
I
at least
totally
tied me.
thought I had you.
That would have at least tied me for the past several weeks.
Also, we are filming this on a Sunday night. There's a possibility that I will watch a movie later tonight, and I will use that for my next week tally, and hopefully it will beat you eventually. All right.
You are the worst.
I mean, I got to catch up somehow. All right.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Ready
man.
for it? Ready for it? An American Werewolf in London, which we watched for Horror School last week. Everybody
Indeed.
check out that episode. It's really good.
Yeah.
Mud, my favorite movie of the year, and we did an hour and 20-minute long spoiler laden episode of that, which you're not allowed to listen to until you've seen the movie. The Lion King, you may have noticed.
Dude.
Cinderella. I have a
Nice.
2-year-old daughter.
Nice.
A little film Andy Roth recommended from his top 10 list from last year, Ruby Sparks.
Ooh, lovely.
Ruby Sparks was a fantastic movie.
Yes.
Well done, you. Paul Dano in this movie is he is the man will win an Oscar if he keeps going like this.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
Not that neither of us think that's the end all be all, but
it's-
he's going to put something in that people finally go, okay.
Indeed. It's
You know
nice.
this guy, guys,
Yeah.
from he's the kid who does the swears the vow of silence in Little Miss Sunshine.
Mm-hmm.
You're being silent for Nietzsche. Anyways, Toy Story 3.
Stand by. If you haven't seen Little Miss Sunshine, what is wrong with you? But also,
Oh my
he
gosh.
he was the kid preacher in There Will
In
Be
There
Blood.
Will Be Blood.
Those are
right.
his
But
two
if you haven't
biggest
seen-
roles. Yeah.
But if you haven't seen Little Miss Sunshine, you probably haven't seen There Will Be Blood.
I mean, that's fair.
So I'm just saying. Okay.
No, you're right. Go ahead.
Toy Story 3.
Awesome.
I don't think I have. I think I'm wrong when I talk about my favorite Pixar movie and I say Wall-E and Up. I need to be bringing Toy Story 3 into that conversation. It is a perfect film.
Love it.
Heist, the David Mamet movie.
Awesome.
Gene Hackman, Ricky Jay, Delroy Lindo, Danny DeVito, Sam Rockwell's in it. I forgot about that.
Mhm.
Just beautiful. And last and definitely least, a movie we'll talk about on Wednesday, The $1 Million Hotel. Please tune in to Project Melway when we talk about The $1 Million Hotel.
It really is. I think it's going to be, however long the podcast is, it's going to be that many minutes of both of us just going insane.
It's going to be a bug nuts crazy episode of Project Melway.
Indeed.
Those are the movies. Those are the movies that I watched. Those 8 movies, and I still didn't beat you. You son of a so and so.
I'm sorry to hear that.
What's coming up this week, buddy?
The new M. Night Shyamalan movie, also the new Will Smith movie, also the new Jaden Smith movie, After Earth. The next movie where Jesse Eisenberg plays Jesse Eisenberg, and I still love
Oh
him
my
anyway.
gosh.
Now You See Me.
Be the smartest person in the room.
Indeed.
Okay. Every
Whoa!
other character you
And
played.
that's the old timey car horn. We have 10 seconds. And in limited release, I don't know when I'm getting it. You might be getting it this week. The Kings of Summer, which looks like a Stand By Me kind of Sandlot movie. It looks adorable and amazing. Find the trailer online. That's it for Second Breakfast today. I'm Andy Roth, and that's Phil Duvall. We'll see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye.
The most important meal of the day, second breakfast.